Severe weather season in western Pennsylvania is upon us, and that means that inevitably we're going to get some strong storms. Those strong storms bring high winds, they bring heavy downpours, and inevitably it does damage. The man with the answers and information that you need to know is Aaron Buhl from Buhl Insurance. Thanks for hanging out with us today. An expert giving us his inside scoop on how you can prepare for the inevitable for some of us, which is Mother Nature's wrath. Let's start talking about storm damage, because inevitably there'll be trees that go down, sometimes into homes, sometimes on cars. There'll be shingles that blow off. There'll be too much water, too fast, it gets into people's homes. If those situations arise, how should people proceed after the fact?
Sure. Well, first of all, Jeff, thanks for stopping out. Thanks for calling me an expert too.
Well, you are.
I'll try to live up to the hype. But the first thing that should happen, if you have major damage at your house, you don't know how extensive the damage is. First and foremost, I want you to make sure your families are taken care of. So inside the house, there could be standing water, loose electrical wires, possibly a gas leak. So just make sure the house is 100% safe before you enter, would be my first thing. Second thing, call your insurance company. Pretty simple. Call your insurance agency. Most good companies are going to have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service. Give them a call, report the claim right away, take their instructions. Last thing I want to mention on this is you do, as a homeowner and a policyholder, have a responsibility to mitigate your damages. So what that means is you want to prevent further loss from happening if it's possible. So if the wind rips a hole in your roof and you got rainwater coming into the house, you can call a contractor or a restoration company, let them come out, tarp up the roof, do whatever immediate repairs need done. Just save that invoice so you can submit it as part of your claim.
And should people, everyone takes pictures now, should people get pictures of the damage right after the fact to capture the moment so they can share that with the insurance company as well?
Always helps, Jeff. Absolutely. The more information you can provide when you're submitting your claim, the easier it is for the adjusters to settle the claim quickly, efficiently, and fairly.
All right, very good. Next thing is, I want to talk about renters, because a lot of times when you rent a property, you think that maybe that you don't need insurance, but still, you may not be responsible for the structure, but you want to be responsible for your belongings. How should renters proceed with a similar set of circumstances?
Sure, I'm a big believer in renter's insurance. Everything you own is what you own, and you want to protect it, whether you own the house or you rent. So if you take an apartment or your house that you rent, turn it upside down, whatever would fall down is what's insured under renter's insurance. And various things can happen to your house or your apartment that would cause damage. If we're talking about storm damage, one thing that could happen is a lightning bolt could strike, or it could be a power surge. Mm-hmm. You could have your TVs, your laptop, your computers, fried, and then you're starting over from scratch. So there could be a lot of expense. Plus, you don't know what maintenance your apartment, the building has done. There could be compromised structure, more susceptible to damage. You could get storm damage affecting your stuff in that way. So just get renter's insurance is what I would say. For example, if you have auto insurance with a particular company, they often give you a large discount for having 2 policies with them. So, the discount on the auto insurance often is enough to pay for the entire renter's insurance policy, or at least make it very, very inexpensive. But whatever it is, take care of it, get renter's insurance, take care of your stuff.
So renter's insurance doesn't cost a lot.
It's very, very
minimal
very
cost, and it's
minimal.
probably good for the, if something happens, Mother Nature intervenes. She does her own thing. All right, let's talk about flooding, because there are people here that live in a flood zone. They know they live in a flood zone because they're required to have flood insurance. Many people don't live in flood zones. Should they inquire about flood insurance?
Yes, certainly we have a recommendation. The first thing is let's talk about what's not flood. Okay, if you have a maintenance issue with your house, you have water seeping into your basement, maybe you have to go out and get a sump pump, that kind of thing. It's a maintenance issue. Yes, your basement flooded, but it's not because of a flood. Now, the National Flood Insurance Program defines a flood as the inundation of 2 acres of normally dry land or 2 contiguous properties, one of them being the property owners in question here. So if that occurs, well, then that's a flood. So flood insurance, if you have it, would trigger coverage for the damage. Now, homeowners insurance will never cover flood insurance in any circumstances.
Good
so
point.
You have to have flood insurance if you're going to have coverage for an actual flood. Now, if you're in a flood zone, your bank, your mortgage company is going to require that you get it, and sometimes, depending on how susceptible or high risk of an area you're in, it could be more expensive. If you're not in a flood zone, it's going to be correspondingly much less expensive. So talk to your insurance company, your insurance agency, get some good advice in regards to your risk level, and get a quote and see what you think.
One final question. In my 20 plus years of forecasting weather here, I've seen just about everything, and I've seen large hail fall from the skies, and the larger the hail, the greater the possibility of damage, and that can ding your car. It can look like golf balls just went off in your hood of your car, on the roof of your car. Is something like hail damage to your car, is that covered by homeowners, or would that be an auto insurance claim?
Good question, Jeff. Yeah, that's an auto insurance claim. 100% of the time. The coverage that's going to trigger that is comprehensive coverage on your insurance. These types of claims are never considered chargeable claims to your insurance. So that includes, hitting a deer, a falling object. I was at a baseball tournament this weekend. If a baseball hit your windshield, those type of things. So hail damage, or if a wind blows tree into your car, those are going to be triggered by comprehensive coverage. My advice to all of our customers is to carry as low as a deductible as possible in comprehensive coverage. We see a lot of other insurance companies throwing $500 deductibles out for comprehensive. Maybe they wouldn't want me to say this, but I give recommendations to my customers based on what's in the customer's best interest. And there's very little price difference from having a $0 comp deductible compared to a $250 or a $500. That way, stuff like that happens, you don't have that expense. The insurance company takes care of it, no questions asked, and you move on. All
right, we covered a few topics here. There's probably a lot more that people might have questions about. How do they get in touch with you or your team if they have additional questions? Inevitably, they may have.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love it. We have 4 locations in the Pittsburgh area: Allison Park, Warrendale, Butler, and Gibsonia. You can walk into any of our offices anytime, and someone will be there to greet you and help you. You can email me at Aaron Buhl, AARONBUHL, @allstate.com. You can call us at 724-443-5610, or visit us on the web, www.buhlagency.com.
Now, I will vouch for the guy. I've known him for 12 years. He's a good dude. If you're looking for insurance, you have questions, give Aaron a call. He has my endorsement.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
You got it.